Ariel Helwani for MMARated.com, being joined by the man himself, a man that I've actually looked up to for a long time, Gus Johnson.
Thank you, Ariel.
Welcome to Stockton.
Thank you very much for having me, and I'm looking forward to some great MMA.
So this is the second showing for EliteXC on CBS. A lot of people are saying that, this is not as good a card as the first time. The ratings might be down. Tell me why this one might actually be better than the first card.
Well, I actually think it's going to be a better card because you're going to see more of a variety of mixed martial arts. Obviously, with Robbie Lawler and Scott Smith, you're going to see two fighters that are really good in stand-up, and they're going to have a chance to fight once again for that welterweight championship. But when you see guys like Jake Shields have an opportunity to go into the cage, he's a terrific jiu-jitsu guy. Nick Diaz as well is terrific in jiu-jitsu. I think that there's going to be more of a well-rounded card, and you're going to have an opportunity to see all of the disciplines: jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, some good boxing, and some good submission wrestling. That's why I think this is going to be a really, really fun card, especially for MMA purists.
Now, obviously, the eyes of the MMA world were focused squarely on you and Mauro and Frank, just to see as how you'd be able to sort of explain the sport to the new fans that were checking it out for the first time. What did you think of your performance on May 31st?
You know what? I think I have a lot to learn. I think that I continue to grow in mixed martial arts. I'm studying jiu-jitsu at the Gracie Academy in New York City. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I have an opportunity to learn a whole lot about the ground attack. I've been, trying to continue to extend my knowledge of the sport. I watch the Affliction show, watch the UFC on a regular basis. So, I think the first one was, I was satisfied with it, but not satisfied enough to not keep growing. And I think that, I'm going to get better and better as time goes on.
How would you stack EliteXC up with the competition? I mean, obviously last week, Affliction, they came out guns blazing for their first show. UFC, we all know what they bring to the table. Where do you kind of place EliteXC right now?
Well, you know what? I don't necessarily know if I would rank them, but I think that we're doing a great job here with EliteXC. We have great fighters: Robbie Lawler, Scott Smith, Jake Shields, Nick Diaz. Jake Shields, one of the top fighters at the welterweight division in the world. Nick Diaz, he's an exciting fighter as well. We have KJ Noons, who's also a terrific fighter, and hopefully down the road they'll get an opportunity to meet. I think our heavyweights are good in terms of Kimbo Slice and Antonio Bigfoot Silva, who is dynamic in Muay Thai as well as in Jiu-Jitsu, and he's fighting for the vacant EliteXC heavyweight championship. I also think that Brett Rogers is a terrific puncher, and he has a tremendous upside. So obviously the UFC is the standard that we all try to match. They have the greatest fighters in the world, and guys like Spider Silva and George St. Pierre and Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture and Rampage, and even Forrest Griffith, who just took that championship away from Rampage. And obviously with Affliction, Fedor is, Fedor. So I think that the EliteXC is doing a great job. The great thing about all of this is that mixed martial arts is growing, and that people that haven't really paid attention to the sport in the past are starting to pay a whole lot of attention to it. So I think that it's the fastest growing and the biggest growing sport in the world, and hopefully it'll continue on that pace.
All right, well, let me quickly ask you, because you call a litany of great sporting events. I mean, the NFL, the NBA, college basketball. I mean, you're known worldwide. There are pages on the internet devoted to you. There's YouTube clips, highlight reels. Now that you're talking to some of your contemporaries outside of the MMA world, do they come up to you and say, like, hey, what's it like calling an MMA event? Or do people kind of laugh and point at you? What's the deal?
No, I'll tell you an interesting story. After the May 31st fight, I had to do an event for the NFL in New Jersey at NFL Films. I walked in the room, and the first thing that all the players talked about was the MMA EliteXC fight that took place on May 31st. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of guys from the Pittsburgh Steelers on their offensive line told me that most of the team met the night of the fight, watched the fight together, and they love James Thompson. Now they're mimicking James Thompson. Every time they see each other, they'll go out and go, whatever James Thompson does. So, people love it. People love the sport. They think that, it's aggressive and it's exciting and it's honest, and the athletes really want to go out there and perform at a high level. And I firmly believe that this is the sport of the future.
Okay, and also you've got catchphrases galore. I mean, personally, some of my favorite, the slipper still fits, Gonzaga, Florida, I believe it was. Even this year with Curry, Stephen Curry, I think we have a star, young fella. That was a great line. Any personal favorites for you? I know I'm kind of going off the MMA story here, but
I just kind of try to, I think about things. I don't necessarily try to script them, but as as I go along in my preparation, or if I'm watching TV or watching a movie or listen to a song, a hip-hop song, or, I try to pay attention to what certain people say and try to come up with phrases or steal phrases that are applicable for the particular events. But I don't really have anything I would say is a favorite. I think the Slipper Still Fits is one that I that I'm proud of, and because it was extemporaneous when it came out, and hopefully I come up with some good ones for MMA. That'll be cool.
All right, well, on Saturday night, hopefully the slipper will still fit for EliteXC in terms of great ratings on CBS. Best of luck to you, Gus, and continued success.
Thank you so much for having me.